how have you actually approached this whole idea of creating consistency of brand experience with sales when it comes to content and engaging customers? Maybe starting with you, Guy.
The first thing is that sales and marketing are very closely linked in a whole bunch of different ways. Basically, whilst I have the budget for the marketing and the people for the marketing resource, we spend a lot of time talking to the sales leads in the different geographies as to what it is that they want to spend the money on. As we all know, it's very easy to spend it from afar, but understanding where they want to spend the money is really important. Then after that, it's about making sure that we have the brand guidelines in place, so that people can do things I talked a little bit about with the video, enabling other people within the business to help create content, and we're there to help them create the content that they want. The other thing that we do is and it's perhaps a little bit on the back of the stories that are in the local markets, is create the content that people can then have from a written perspective, not just from a video perspective, but more from a written perspective, that they can then use and send out, push out to prospects as well as existing customers. So it's really about having very regular, so all of my regional marketing managers meet with the regional sales head on a weekly basis to find out what's going on, because you need to be able to react. We've had some great examples through some of the automation that we do, whereby if you react very quickly to an inbound lead, then it converts into an opportunity very quickly. Whereas if you're a month behind or 2 months behind where that market is, then you can miss out. And that speed of response is becoming increasingly important, not just on a news story, but also on a long-term planning basis as well.
So we've talked a lot about the creative and the messaging and the content, and getting that to be consistent all the way through the funnel has been one of our challenges, which we now have overcome by using Salesforce and marketing automation tools like Pardot is our kind of Marketo equivalent, and making sure that we have we are able to construct conversations from the thought leadership, the top of the funnel, right the way through to it becoming an actual sales opportunity and being qualified. So the dry stuff there is about how us as a marketing team have to run those processes so they don't fall over. So using tools like Salesforce Engage, which are templates that are kind of demand generation in Salesforce and outbound teams can carry on that conversation, so it doesn't go from lovely thought leadership that marketing have crafted and warm people up to, your kind of very, very dry salesperson just picking up the phone and being quite abrupt. Our challenge has been making sure that we continue that flow. And I think we can achieve that. And as I said, it's Salesforce and some of the Salesforce tools, and making sure that they're optimized and customized for use for our particular needs has been really critical to that. And it's something that we do. So what you'll see so much less of is loads of big sales enablement decks that we might do, through to much more personalized pieces and choreographing that through our marketing automation and timing and scheduling through Salesforce. So I would say that's been the biggest shift from that perspective. The other big shift for us is because, buying processes in B2B aren't linear anymore. You might go down, you might have convinced your champion, and then, people want to go back and read an ebook or look at the website. So making sure that we can track and see what's going on is really important. And around account-based marketing, it's very often that a sales team will say, look, I've engaged with this person, what I really need you guys to do is unlock this person at headquarters in Hamburg. And what we'll do is we'll get, very kind of detective around who they are, how we have to unlock them. We might stalk them. We might do a lot of LinkedIn one-to-one marketing, and that has dramatic impact on the velocity and the opening up of something that might have stagnated on the sales pipeline. So really, really interesting, agile, non-traditional ways that we use tools and our understanding of our buyers and our ability to research is kind of, we're just hand in glove. And it took a long time to get that level of trust from the sales team, but it's success after success that gets them convinced to actually knock on our door and ask at the right time now.
So we're embarking on something quite interesting at the moment, which is to actually have the sort of top of the funnel part of the sales, which is kind of inbound sales or SDRs, whatever you want to call it, but actually working within the marketing team. So the rationale being that I've worked on the sales side as well, and as a marketing guy, there's nothing more frustrating than being really excited about leads that are coming through and then seeing the sales guys kind of not as excited and kind of maybe not being as fast in terms of responding to those leads and those kind of things. So what we're trying at the moment is actually having marketing sales working completely hand in hand on those inbound campaigns. So for example, myself working alongside the head of the inbound sales team to actually plan out a LinkedIn targeted campaign. So what are the job titles that we want to target, and actually sitting down together to do that campaign, so that every time a lead then comes in from the campaign, that person and that team is just as excited as marketing is. Likewise, when it doesn't work, we're going back and fixing that together. So right from that top of the funnel, we're sharing that success because we're sharing the work that goes into it, and we're really kind of in it together. And it's kind of making that shift for me away from kind of really worrying too much about attribution, because attribution of B2B is always a challenge, particularly if it's a long sales process. And by the end of the funnel, if you've done your work right, sales have done a hell of a lot of work on it, marketing's been involved across helping with every part of the channel, there's probably been people from other teams. So attribution on a long sales model isn't necessarily as important as it is for a short sales process. So understanding that and saying, well, actually, we don't really mind whether it comes from a social media post, a PPC ad, a LinkedIn outbound, or an outbound sales call. What we really care about is the fact that we're all celebrating that success together and making sure that we get as many of those deals through the pipeline as possible. So it's something we're trialing at the moment to say, actually, if we're all in it together, that immediately, right from the top of the funnel, means that sales and marketing is one team.
The challenge has been that silo mentality where marketing and sales have always butted heads and not collaborated. And I think Chris is absolutely right. If you're going to get collective success, collaboration is the key. And I think also education. I think, I'm very fortunate in that, in the role that I'm in currently and my previous role, I was responsible for sales and marketing. So I don't run two separate teams. We all collaborate as one function. So from an education perspective, sales know what marketing are targeted with, marketing know what sales are targeted with, and it's almost getting the basics right as a collective. So rather than marketing coming up with what a marketing qualified lead should look like, or what sales coming up with what the sales qualified lead and process should look like, we work on that together. So there's never any surprises. There's complete transparency. When something comes across from the marketing team, the sales receive it and act on it in a very responsive and prompt manner, because they know that they've agreed what that is that's going to come across. It's verified as what they want to see, and so they act on it rather than sit on it because it's just another marketing lead that won't be qualified in the way I need it to be qualified. So collaboration, education, engagement, having the team as one, all of those things make a real difference.